tourism is a growing sector. It's one of the major economic sectors in the world.
Tourism is more than just a business. It is a sustainable enterprise created by entrepreneurs. Behind every business and behind every tourism business, there is something that puts the soul element in it. It might be a small family business, it might be the golden hands of a chef. Whatever it is, there is always a something.
In Belgium, and especially in Ghent, tourism entrepreneurship is closely related to community and culture.
In 2024, nearly 45 million overnight stays were recorded across the country, marking a new high and showing that travel has fully recovered after the pandemic. The Flemish region, where Ghent is located, attracted almost 15 million visitors last year, many of them from abroad. In Ghent itself, cultural events like the Ghent festivities alone bring in over 1.3 million visitors, highlighting the city's appeal as a vibrant destination where history and community meet. Europe is the most visited region in the world, receiving around 53% of all international tourist arrivals. In the EU, tourism makes a significant contribution to the economy, generating approximately 1.9 trillion euros, which equals about 10% of the EU's total GDP. Tourism is closely linked to entrepreneurship. 1 out of every 10 businesses in the European Union operates in tourism or tourism-related services, including hotels, restaurants, transport, and event organization. Tourism is also one of Europe's largest employers. In 2021, more than 11 million people worked in the tourism sector across the EU. Also, nearly 3 million tourism and hospitality businesses are active, most of them small or micro enterprises. But how does tourism entrepreneurship work in reality, and what does it look like in a country like Belgium?
Ghent Authentic, a local guiding company, is a clear example of how small enterprises collaborate with local residents, cultural institutions, and other small businesses to create meaningful experiences. This approach shows how tourism can be profitable while also benefiting the people who call Ghent home.
I'm Kristel. So since 2010, I found and run Ghent Authentic. Our main business is private and customized touristic tours and exclusive visits in Ghent.
I would like to ask, what makes Ghent such a special place to explore from Ghent Authentic's entrepreneurial perspective?
It is a business city, it is a university city, it is an art city, and a tech city. So we are the biggest and most important tech hub in Belgium. So this gives a very nice mixture of people who come to the city, and at the same time, we are based in a historic, beautiful medieval city. So you have a backdrop of history, and you have innovative businesses and all the sectors I was talking about before. And on top of that, we are very compact. So if you put that all together, there is plenty of room for different type of touristic businesses. My business is specialized on B2B. So my clients are big corporations or smaller businesses who come from outside of Ghent, from abroad. About 1/3 of companies of my clients are coming from abroad. So who come to Ghent for business and then want to see also the city. So the time of business meetings where business people would only come to a place, to a city, just to do business and go home, that's long gone. They want to really explore the city where they have their meetings, and that is a trend.
Now, when talking about the tourists and your clients, I would ask, like, what have been the major shifts of trends that you have seen in like the expectations of the visitors and the businesses, and how have they influenced your business?
Yeah, there's definitely, when it comes to tourism, there's definitely changes, shifts, which have taken place over the past 15 years. First of all, tourism is a growing sector. It's one of the major economic sectors in the world. So that means for me there are more players in the field. When I started 15 years ago, there were only like 4 players in the field of tourism professionally. Now there are maybe 15 or 20 or more. So that has shifted. Does it mean that I have more competition? Not really. And that has to do with the fact that most of these businesses, and that is also a shift that I see, are focusing on leisure. So, or individual tourists who come to Ghent and who just want to have like fun or, you know, like explore the city, low budget, also want to see the cultural parts and so on, but they don't feel like going too much into depth. So the players who came, you know, who are added over those years in that segment, and there are many in that segment, that is a new thing. But it doesn't affect me so much because they're really like on the lower segment of the market, on this leisure tourism, where I am in the higher segment of the market for B2B and business clients. In that respect, has many things changed in that segment? Yes and no. Yes, it has changed in the sense that those business people, as I said before, not only come here to do their businesses, but really want to explore the city. That's absolutely an evolution. A second thing is that people are well-traveled. A lot of people are well-traveled, especially business people. They want to have more authentic experiences, unique things, exclusive visits, and they are also willing to pay for it. Whereas in the beginning, I had to explain myself why my tours are 3 times more expensive than the others. But nowadays I don't have to. And then sometimes those people say, no, you should raise your price. Because they value an authentic experience or an exclusive visit more and more. And maybe I can give you an example of that. In the beginning, I was very fascinated by, and still, about the Ghent altarpiece of Van Eyck, which is a major work of art in the Cathedral of Ghent. It is very, or has been very influential over the past centuries in Western Europe. And it draws about 1 million people to Ghent just to see that altarpiece. Now, I can organize exclusive visits to the altarpiece after hours. That is a good example. It's my most expensive product. And they are not only paying for a world-famous work of art, but they are also paying and valuing the fact that they can see it by themselves, up close and personal, right? In a relaxed and peaceful way, not surrounded with a lot of people. And those kind of experiences is valued more. Also the personal contact, that there is a real person, me or some people of my team, who are actually talking them through the altarpiece and not just an app or like, like an audio, that has its limits. So they are willing to pay for personal contact, quality, inspiration, and authenticity. So this is absolutely a shift. People value personal contact with somebody local more.
I would like to ask about how do small and independent enterprises in Ghent become part of the authentic experiences that you design for the end client?
Yeah. Well, first of all, they should be part of it. I think it's the future of tourism. If we want to keep tourism the way that is livable and nice and authentic for everybody, you need to have the connection between local community and visitors. When it comes to seeing the tourism of the future or the trends and so on. In my book, that's the future. Local communities and tourism being connected and not 2 streams who flow through the city. One has nothing to do with the other one. One is consuming the nice experience or what they think is the authentic experience. Come in, watch, take pictures and leave without having seen or met any local person. That is mass tourism. That is standard tourism. It's consumption tourism. That's what we see in Barcelona and in other cities which have over-tourism. It's exactly that, right? Whereas if you look for the connection between local community and you as a visitor, first of all, it's far more exciting. And you might also discover spots that might not be on the must-see list in Ghent. And I really believe That is my vision, a vision that I want to, share, and that I also see developing in tourism as a theory or as a science or whatever you want to call it. There's many sectors, all of us, we have to transition, right? Yeah. You have an old way of doing things and then you go to a new kind of energy transition or whatever. The same is true for tourism. The difference is that we are not the most innovative sector, but that doesn't mean that the transition is not happening. And studies and professors who are specialized on that topic really affirm that the future of tourism is human, it is qualitative, it is connected between local community and tourism, and it is authentic and it is valuable. So I think it's not only my vision it's a vision of Ghent Authentic, but it's also what I hope and see that tourism, maybe not all of it, but the one who wants to survive and be future-proof in 5 and 10 years' time, this is the direction to take.
What do you say, what sustainable tourism practices does your company prioritize mainly when giving those tours and finding business clients, and how do you apply those sustainable operations in your day-to-day business?
Well, first of all, as we do tours, walking tours and bike tours, it's very sustainable already, but that's an easy answer. But another aspect of it is, of course, making people aware again. If visitors, clients are coming, a part of our tour, it also is about urban development. It's also why are there no cars in the city center of Ghent? Where do we store all our bicycles? How did it look like 20, 30 years ago in Ghent, where the city was overflowing with cars? And then I show a picture and I was like, see all the cars, all the parking lots, they're in total shock because they see now, they're like, oh, this is a big difference. Yes, that's a policy. It's what we worked on. So to make people aware of that. And another thing is that we are living in a city which values sustainability. So public transport is important, shared cars everywhere. So, and also banning the car from the city center. And after a while, the sustainability becomes entrepreneurial or promotional asset of the city to attract people to your city. And people are more sensitive to it as well. And I also see in my company then, when it comes to sustainability, is that governments of the Netherlands or France, when they look for inspiration, they sometimes come to Ghent, so they want to know, they want to see, how do you do that? Oh, these parking lots for cars and for bicycles. Oh, the cars are banned and now there's so many bicycles. But where do you store your bike in a small historic city of Ghent? I think it's again a combined effort of a city, because if the city is not aware, say I don't care about sustainability, all the cars are welcome, it has to be and to have the right kind of bedding through which you can thrive as a company. It absolutely works. Especially entrepreneurs, you're always thinking in they are in this mindset of opportunities and they take it with them, just as I hope you will take it with you. They're like, oh yes, the way I look at the city. Oh yes, oh, there are no cars. Okay, maybe we can do that Estonia somewhere as well, whatever. And that's how you learn from one another. And in that way, tourism is a learning path.
In the future, do you see that the tourism in Ghent, do you see it rising or falling? Is Ghent becoming
rising,
like a new hub, perhaps?
Rising, absolutely. When it comes to Ghent, if you compare it to Bruges, Bruges is the touristic city of Flanders. It's number one. Go now to Bruges, streets are full, people from all over. You're like, where are they all coming from, right? Ghent is different. First of all, we don't depend on tourism. We depend less on tourism than a really touristic city as Bruges. Therefore, we can, direct a little bit in the directions that we want, prioritize things, share the values, make sure that's happening. But nevertheless, and maybe because of that, because of this Ghent authenticity, we are known to be quite rebellious and single-minded, the people of Ghent, right? Because of that authenticity, more and more people come, of course. It's different. It's, yes. We like this kind of cool vibe around Ghent. And of course, that brings people. So constantly rising in numbers, Ghent as a city. It is more seen like this, the hidden gem between Brussels and Bruges, the place where mass tourism has not arrived yet, and where there's still plenty of things to discover. It's not one souvenir shop next to the other. We really have this kind of vibe, and of course, combined with all the businesses and the university and all the students, that mix, I don't know whether you know Ghent as a student city, but it's extremely popular for Erasmus students. Like it's like exploding, Ghent. And so it's rising, it keeps on rising, and it will rise. It will keep on rising. We are more concerned that it's becoming not too big. That is our main concern for Ghent.
Belgium shows that great tourism is in the hands of urban creativity and cultural heritage. Together, combined, we can see that the future of European tourism is in the hands of balance. The balance of business, the balance of innovation, planet and people.